Today we will discuss about the topic plant pathology and phytopathology. Phytopathology is consist of the Latin word in which phyto means plant, patho means suffering and logos means to study. So in the plant pathology or phytopathology we study about the disease in plants. In simple terms, we can say that plant pathology is the branch of agriculture or botanical or biological science which deals with the cause, etiology resulting in loss and management method of the plant disease. Plant disease is the physiological abnormality that is harmful to the plant and only its product or that reduce its economic values. As we know that India is the agriculture dominant country, so it is important to study about the cause of the disease or their development, about their symptoms and their treatment, because agricultural field is the important in the increasing the economical values and increase the economy of a country. So agriculture play an important role in increasing the economy of a country. So we discuss about the plant disease, their cause and their development, their treatment, etc. First, we study about the types of disease in crops. This is generally divided into the three categories that is based on their different characteristics and their different cause. First, we study about the parasites or the biotic stress. Then non-parasites and abiotic stress, and third one is the mesobiotic stress. Parasites and the biotic stress. As we know that our ecosystem is also divided into the two dominant factors, biotic as well as abiotic factors. So disease is also divided into by the three factors, that is biotic, abiotic and the mesobiotic. Under the biotic stress, we study about the microorganism that cause several diseases in the plant as well as in the animals. But under the plant pathology, we study only about the plant disease. There are several fungi, bacteria, protozoa, algae that are cause the adverse effect on the crop plant. So under the biotic stress, we study about the biotic factors that cause the disease in the crop plant and decrease the economic value of these crop. Now we study about the non-parasites or the abiotic stress. In the non-parasite or abiotic stress, we study about the physiological factors that affect the plant growth and may cause the several diseases or the effect that affect the production of the crops, such as low or high temperature. The temperature play an important role in the physiology of the plant that is essential for the transpiration, respiration, photosynthesis, etc. If the proper temperature is not available for the plant, they could not grow properly. And if the temperature is too high, the transpiration rate is increased and cause wilting. Low temperature cause the formation of crystal in the leaves and may damage the stem, root and leaves also. The second factor is humidity or moisture content. Moisture content is also the essential factor for the germination of seed, for the development of plant and their growth, because plant use the water that is present in the soil or air in the moisture content. So, moisture is an important factor for their growth and development. If there is not a suitable humidity content present in the soil or environment, the plant cannot grow properly. Then, lack of access of light. As we know that light is the essential factor for the plant growth because light is the essential factor for the photosynthesis. In the absence of light, plant could not properly photosynthesize and do not produce their food because as we know that plants are the producer in the earth that is essential for their own growth and also for the other animal because all the animals are directly or indirectly depend upon the plant for their growth and development. Next factor is the lack of oxygen. Oxygen is also a necessary component for the plants as well as for the animals. In the absence of oxygen, plants do not respirate and do not grow properly. Air pollution. Air pollution has the several toxic effects or the toxic gas that inhibit the plant growth and may cause the black spot disease in the several fruits or the vegetable crops. Mineral deficiency is also important for the plant and their growth. As we know, plants are require the several minerals such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium for their proper growth and development. In the deficiency of these nutrient conditions, plants show several adverse characteristics such as chlorosis or wilting or yellowing of leaf, shadowing of leaf, etc. Salinity, pH also play an important role for their growth. Plant can grow only in the neutral pH up to 7.2 to 7.4. The pH range below or above the neutral condition may also cause adverse effect on the plant. It may cause salinity or other harmful effect on the plant growth. Now we discuss about the third, that is the mesobiotic disease. Mesobiotic disease, that is meso means the intermediate between the biotic and the abiotic factors. That's why we call it as the mesobiotic disease or mesobiotic factor. These are include the viruses and the viroids. Viruses, as we know that virus cause the several diseases in the crop plant, and we also know about their characteristic that they are living in the host while non-living in the environment. So we also call the viruses as the connecting link between the living and the non-living organism. So we study the viral disease as the mesobiotic disease or the mesobiotic factors. Now we discuss about some terminology that is regarding to the plant pathology, that disease severity. Disease severity is the measure of the damage done by a disease or amount of disease present in the population. In simple terms, we can say the severity effect of the disease is the measurement of the amount that plant crop damage. Now we discuss about the second one is the disease incidence. Disease incidence is the number of the plant affected by a disease within a population. Suppose we have 10 plants from which 2 are infected. So the ratio between these infected plant or disease incidence is 2/10. Next is pathogenicity. Pathogenicity is the capacity of a pathogen to cause disease. Next one is pathogenesis. Pathogenesis is the chain of event that leads to the development of disease in the host or sequence of processes in disease development from the initial contact between the pathogen and its host to the compulsion of a disease. Now, the symptoms. Symptoms is the characters that we can easily identify on the crops that the particular crop plant is infected by the disease or not. Next one is resistance. Resistance show the crop plants that are resistant to the disease, that is the particular pathogen could not able to infect the particular variety of the crop or plant. Now we discuss about a general cycle that each pathogen is follow during the disease, that is disease cycle. It includes the several steps. We start from the inoculation. The first step in the disease cycle is the inoculation, then penetration, then infection. Infection is also divided in the two categories, that is primary infection and the secondary one. Then the disease is finally occur. After the completion of the disease, the pathogen is divided inside the host and reproduce and increase their number. After that, they disperse and infect the other crop plants. Then the rate of survival is increased and finally they inoculate in the next generation or the further crops. Now we discuss about each in detail. First one is inoculation. Inoculation is the primary factor that increase the first contact between the crop plant and the host. Now next one is penetration. The initial invasion of a host by the pathogen is called as penetration. Next, infection. Infection is divided into the two categories, that is primary infection and the secondary infection. Primary infection is known as the first infection of a plant by the overwintering or the oversummering pathogen. That means the pathogen that attacked after a particular season. Next, the secondary infection. Secondary infection is the infection caused by the inoculum produced as a result of the primary or a subsequent infection. Next, disease. As we know, the symptoms that is appear on the crop plant is known as disease. Reproduction, that the process of multiplication of the particular pathogen inside the host, then disperse and their survival. I think you have understand this topic clearly. If you have any questions, please write in the comment section. Thank you.